Alright, let's try that again. If it cuts me off due to connection again, I will go inside. But I wanted to come live from outside so you guys can experience our nice little screened-in porch back here. Say hey when you guys pop on. Yes! I'm coming live at a better time where people are here. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, some of these names I haven't seen in a long time. Hey guys. So, I guess I'll just go ahead and jump in since it seems like there's a bunch of people on here already. So Facebook is already letting people know that I'm live. Hey Angel. Hey Donna, thank you so much. Oh, it's so good to see your names. Okay, so I want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there and say that, like, I have nothing but gratitude and love and, like, thankfulness to the Aveda Institute, my spa therapy teachers, you know, anybody that has ever employed me or been my coworker or been my client past and present. Like, I love you guys. Thank you for everyone that supported me through, like, how freaking crazy spa school was, because I was a burnt out nightmare during that time, and I'm thankful that you guys are still my friends. So, you know, it's all been a really nice learning and growing process for me, and I'm super thankful for that. Because I've learned a lot and I've got to meet a lot of awesome people that I love because of it. So let me just kind of get into it. I was going to back up and tell you guys, like, my story and my experience as a spa therapist, and then really get into a few things that, like, push me to actually not just quit my job that I was at, but leave the industry in general. So I am lucky enough to have been able to attend the Aveda Institute. It was a great experience and a great program. They have, when you are in the spa therapy program, it's a dual licensing program. So you leave, when you graduate, you're a full specialist, which in Florida is an esthetician and nail technician, and then you have to take your MBLEX after you graduate and you get your spa hours to become licensed. So it's broken up into two different halves. You're in the classroom for half of it, and then you're in the clinic taking clients for half of it. So the first half, I worked 2 jobs. I don't know if you guys know what's the schedule for cosmetology school is, but it's crazy. I was there from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., like 3 days a week, or 7 to 7, like kind of whatever. It was just different schedules and different days. But so I was there doing that, and I was still bartending at Birds, and I was also working at the pool hall. So the first half of clinic, I counted it when I was in school, and I went 76 days without a day off from something. So I either had work, school, or both for 76 days. And 20-hour days were super common because I was going into work at at school for, you know, almost 12 hours, and then I was going and bartending until 2, you know, being a crazy person. So when I moved into the clinic, I quit my job at the pool hall, retained my job at Birds, and continued going to school. So I didn't have a problem getting clients at Aveda. You know, we had lots of competitions, and they're like, oh, whoever gets the most clients, you know, in their first 2 weekends, or whoever books the most friends, like, gets a prize. And I, like, booked a bunch of people and trying to get the prize and stuff. So I was booked out my first, you know, month or so in school. I know a lot of you, I see some people's names on here that I've, like, seen you guys, and I thank you for that. That's awesome. And I was a good therapist. I loved learning. I watched massage sloth videos on YouTube, like, nonstop. You know, I liked the learning environment of Aveda because it was pretty self-paced, and I'm pretty organized. You know, I'm good with the planner. I've always been like that. And I was homeschooled when I was younger, so I'm used to kind of making myself work in that sort of sense without supervision, which was something that we had to do at Aveda, especially because my classroom teacher was out, so we had a substitute, so it was like a lot of you like having to do your own work, which I love because I'm just a self-paced person. So I went to clinic as a pretty good therapist. I was pretty popular. I was booked a lot of times. You know, there were some people in my class that weren't booked all the time, but I was often doing, 8 to 12 massages a weekend, a full day for us. They've changed it since, but we used to be able to take 6 clients a day, which is a lot. A lot. I see a few people that are therapists on here also, and you know that in your first week of working in a field, taking 12 clients in those first few weekends was a lot. So my hands hurt from like the get-go because I was busy and I was popular and I was seeing lots of clients, and so I was already in a lot of physical pain. I have had a back injury, so I've ruptured T6 and T7, and I have a little bit of nerve damage in my back, and it was really difficult for me to be doing like some of those things for long periods of time, or even like sitting in the classroom for a long period of time was really painful for me. So it was just super stressful in the pain situation, because like a lot of us have jobs that we don't want to go to, but when you don't want to go to your job and like it freaking hurts. It hurts to be there, and you're there to make other people feel good. Like, that is just so weird. So weird. So, besides like the physical aspect of that, I learned in spa school that some people are much more sensitive to other people's emotions than others, and there were a few instances where I've had some pretty like intense like physical things happen when I was seeing certain clients. I had a regular client come in, and I'd seen her every week for months. She would always come and see me. She was passed down to me from another person, and I sat down to give her a facial one day, and as soon as I touched her, I like flew into a panic attack, like heart beating, like feeling like I'm going to throw up and pass out and black out, and like I had to leave school. I'm like, I don't know. I hear people talk about panic attacks. Like, I don't know what that is. But, like, this is what I imagine that is. Like, I had to get myself out of the situation. That was all I knew. I had another student come finish the service. Super, super embarrassing. Having to, like, leave school because of that. So, and that, not as serious of that situation, but things like that have happened to me a few times. Even when I was taking clients in my own home, close friends that would talk to me about stressful situations, and, they're kind of having an emotional release at the time, and that's like, bam, like right into my body. Crazy. And so I was like, dude, and I hear a lot of people that talk about like this empath thing, or like being a therapist and having to watch people's energies off of them, but I don't do Reiki, and I don't understand, I'm not educated enough to know what that means, but I just knew that touching people all day long made me not feel good. And it made me feel like I had more than my own emotions in my brain, if that makes any sense. So I like I said, I did really well in Aveda. I was really organized. I was pretty popular when it came to having clients and things like that. And I finished on a high note, right? I spoke at my graduation. I graduated with the highest GPA in my class. I was elected most likely to be a teacher. Funny. I always knew I was going to be a teacher. I just didn't know in what way, right? I also won this thing called Beacon. It's this hosted by the Professional Beauty Association, and they give away scholarships to people to go to Cosmoprof. It's like the largest cosmetology show and convention in the United States, and the North American Hair Awards and stuff are there. It's like super cool, super lavish. I got to go to Vegas, So the week I came back to graduate, like I just got back from being in Vegas with a bunch of other like spa and hair girls and stuff, and it was like so cool, and I was like so happy. Then I graduated. So I graduated from spa school, but I had to take 9 months off of my undergraduate degree to go to spa school. I was really doing that because I didn't want to be in the service industry, and I thought that this was going to be a way for me to have something that was better while I was in school. My dogs are freaking out. Hey, come here. Come lay down. So I still had to finish undergraduate. I am a philosophy, religion, history student, so it was a pretty large workload for me, and so I was working to finish my undergraduate degree. I was also bartending at Birds, and I was trying to like get a job in my new field in the spa. So, which with my schedule was like really hard to do. I was already bartending on weekends, so like I had to stop bartending on the weekends to go like work at a spa on the weekends, and then like do 3 things and like spread myself really thin in like 3 areas instead of really just going all in and being 100% in something that I did, and it kind of sucked, you know? So I interviewed at a bunch of places. I took one spa job at this place and just like sucked. The percentage was like nothing, and I don't even need to get into how bad that one sucked. But so I quit that pretty soon. I think I worked at one of the spas for a month, and then I just went back to bartending because I was in school still, and that was kind of my option, my best option, right? And within all that, you know, I was still kind of looking for spa jobs, still trying to work in my field. I was one of the only people in my spa class that passed my NCLEX, so I was like one of the only people that was a licensed massage therapist out of my class, and I was like, man, I'm like dually licensed. Like, I should go and add value to someone's business and do that sort of thing and help others, you know, because I have this. So I was like looking at things, and the place my dream job, right? My dream job. My dream spa needed a dual therapist, and they like wanted to interview me. I was like, yes. And so somehow in between me getting the interview and the date that the interview is actually scheduled for, I had found out that they wanted a spa manager, and I was like, oh no, you know what? And then that's the first time it kind of clicked in my head that I was like, I like doing this, but I don't think that I want to be giving services every day. And I've had management positions in retail stores. I've, you know, worked in tattoo shops and stuff like that, where I was kind of in like a receptionist management type position. And so I was like, this is perfect for me. You know, I emailed them, and like I was like, hey, and I like sent them a different cover letter and was like, I really want to do this. So when I got there to do my practical, I went in the back, and I was like, hey, you know, like, I even expressed to her, I was like, I really would rather, you know, interview for the spa manager job. I'm not sure if my body is going to be able to do as many clients, because I had asked her, you know, how many clients do you think I'm going to be taking a week? And the number was, ooh, whoa, I don't know if I want to do that. So, you know, I was already, like, really hesitant, and you know, she told me that she didn't want to hire me on as a manager because I was in school still, and a lot of things that made a lot of sense, time commitment things, and, you know, I'm grateful because it probably wasn't the right thing for me, and if I would have taken it on, it might not have ended well, and I still have a good relationship with these people now that could have been tarnished if I would have taken the other job. So, I didn't take that job, and I was like, okay. They really encourage us to be like entrepreneurial when you're in spa school. A lot of therapists have their own businesses and things like that, run their own mobile massage or in-home business because it's something you can do, right? So that's how I originally, I bought my home-based wellness domain, and I got an LLC because I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a mobile spa therapist because I had a lot of supplies. You know, the owner of Birds, well, 2 of the owners of Birds I love so much. They were so nice that when I graduated, you know, they wanted to keep me there. They didn't want me to go and leave for a spa, so they gave me a really nice massage table. Like, nice as the ones we had in school, nicer than some of the ones I've been on in other massage situations. So, you know, I had some supplies. I had a nice table. I was freaking stoked. So I started my own business, and, you know, I was doing, I was already kind of like doing these like business and marketing minded things that I'm like doing now, and I was, you know, offering people free massages for referrals, so I was doing kind of a lot of free work to get new clients, and really when it comes to budgeting and stuff like that, massage is one of those things that's not put up really high. It's not like food. It's not like clothes or vacations or like stuff like that. So it was pretty hard, you know, like having to go out there and like find your own clients, but I still did it. I had a pretty good network. I know a lot of people here, but I was still only limited to like Tallahassee, so I had to just, you know, message my friends in Tallahassee and try and like hustle people for massages, which was like, oh my gosh, you know, because I see the value in massage, but like sometimes I would give people massages and I knew they're really good, but I was like, I'm taking your money for this. Like, I would have rather just done this, like, because it makes me feel good, to make you happy and feel good, and it was weird. I didn't like the value exchange of it, and it made me feel yucky to, like, ask people if they wanted massages. Like, when I ask people about fitness, I, like, never feel yucky, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great, and this works really well for me, but even though I was getting massage a lot, massage still wasn't working for me, pain-wise, or other ways, so it just didn't feel right. So I'm still looking on Craigslist, or Indeed, whatever types of things. I'm still in school, still in undergrad, because when I graduated Aveda, I had a year left of undergrad. So there's still, you know, a year of me looking for jobs and trying to find my place and stuff like that. Hey guys, thanks for saying hey when you come on. So I was searching for a job one day, and I came across this job, and I was like, Grisham, like, do you think I should apply for this? Please stop. I was like, do you think I should apply for this? Because I'd already kind of gotten into a groove with my own business, and he was like, yeah, I mean, just why not? Why not? So I got an interview. Excuse me, come here. Duke. So I had an interview. Sorry about that, guys. I had an interview immediately, and I went there, and like as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my god, this is so nice. It had all the things that I wanted. I love the owner. We hit it off great. Like, I thought she was super cool. She seemed super receptive to all my ideas and things like that. And it was awesome. I was going to have autonomy because I was the only therapist there, so I wasn't going to have other people in my space, so I was going to be able to develop some of my own things. I got to develop my own intakes. I got to do a lot of awesome stuff that I was doing already with my own business. I was like, cool. I was like, I'm already doing all this, you know. I was helping her with event stuff and doing a lot of other things too. And I loved it. It was a small office. There weren't a lot of people there, which was cool. And they had high-end products. It was in Midtown. It was cool. I was so excited. So she was really fun too. And I still have nothing but love for, like I said, any of these people, any of this industry. It just wasn't working for me. And that's kind of what I'm going to go into now. So I got that job, and I was there, and like reality started to set in. Even though I had a better percentage than I did at the first place I worked, it was still really low. When I tell people how much my percentage was from there, they're like freaked out. I make like double what I make now, in percentage wise, I guess. So the percentage was really, really low, and I started to do the math on how many clients it was going to take for me to be able to pay my bills, and it was a lot. It was going to be a lot of clients for me to have to take, and I was already in pain. I already was having physical issues. I had physical burdens. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do push-ups. I couldn't hold weights a lot of the time because I was in so much pain. I was sleeping in a brace. Like, it was crazy. I got to the point where I was like Googling carpal tunnel surgeries and how to fix that. I was going and getting like myofascial release done on my shoulder and things like that. It sucked. Like I said, like going to work and knowing that you're going to be in pain all day, that sucks. It was a common thing that we, even in spa school too, like, come home, ice your hands, take some Advil. Like, that was what I was doing, like, every day. Hello? My liver, it hurts, okay? I don't want to take Advil every day to go to work. Like, that's insane to me. I don't want to be dependent like that. I want to come home and ice my hands and sleep in braces, and, like, there were times where I just, like, couldn't open the door. Because I couldn't grip the door. Like, that is absolutely insane. Like, no money, no job is worth not being able to fucking do normal people things like that. So the physical pain was a huge thing. And then I'm gonna get into something that's a little bit more like weird for me to talk about. But it's a high-end place. We did Botox, Juvederm, elective things, no like real surgeries, Kybella, all these kind of things you guys probably don't even know what they are, but things to fix our faces or live up to some sort of beauty standard, right? So I was getting Botox in my forehead, I was getting Botox like here in my eyes, and and you're so funny, Lisa. And I was just like, I had to wear like a certain dress code because it's business casual. We had high-end clients, and I understand the dress code. I'm not like ragging on it, but like I just didn't feel like myself. I felt really, really bad about myself, and it like really killed my self-confidence. It was a high-end spa, lots of real, real pretty girls, and you know, now they have like perfect faces because of Botox and Juvederm and all these things, and there I am, I'm like trying to sit there and talk to them about skincare, and like I still have acne, and it's like I can't explain to them like, oh, I have a hormone and thyroid problem which like causes my skin to look like this. I really know about skincare, like, and that like sucked, having to go to work and be like, oh my god, like how do I look, like no one's gonna respect me and what I do if I don't look a certain way. And like I thought that was fucking stupid. It like tore down my self-confidence. And so on top of that, this is like the tipping point, so bear with me. I'm gonna not like cry or anything weird, I guess. So my job started to kind of not match my moral code. We were really advocating quick fixes, miracle products, miracle treatments, miracle whatever, for people to do things and then be able to do whatever they want with their life, you know. And if you know anything about the skin is a huge reflection of what's going on internally. So how do I go about saying this? I had a client who was in her teens. She was in middle school, and she had a mental disability and really, really, really bad acne. Like, really bad acne. The type that makes you, like, want to cry. Like, she was in so much pain, like, it hurt to wash her face. And so her mom brings her in and buys her a series of peels. I don't know what you guys know about chemical peels, but they hurt. They hurt. You burn your face, and then it peels off for following days. So the mom comes in and brings her daughter in, and like they show up with like fast food, like Coca-Cola. The mom smokes cigarettes in the car. Like, I'm like, oh my god, are you smoking with the windows rolled up? Because like the little girl comes on my table and it's like she smells like she's been smoking, and I'm like, okay, something about this is not right. So when you get a chemical peel, you put it on your face, then you gotta hold a fan on someone that's in pain, and you know, you're gauging their pain tolerance at that point. And putting this little girl in pain who may not really understand like what's going on, and having to like listen to her mom explain to her like, oh, there's already enough things going against you, like we don't want people to have something else to not like you over or make fun of you over. And I was just like, what the fuck? So I just couldn't believe that this mom would rather put her child through pain rather than, you know what I mean, spend tons of money. You know, she dropped a couple $100s. Shit's not cheap. And the mom would drop tons of money on this instead of cooking for your child, maybe not smoking in the vehicle that they're in because they have an impaired skin barrier. It's just, I couldn't believe it. So that made me really realize, like, whoa, like, maybe this is not what I want to do. Maybe I don't want to promote, like, these type of feelings to young women. Like, maybe I don't want to talk about my Botox on social media where my younger cousins are. Maybe I don't want to do that because I don't want young women to put themselves at risk to live up to some fucking beauty standard like that a corporation has put out there. You know what I mean? It's all money driven. So that really, So as a therapist, you can't really talk to people about nutrition and food. You know, we always say this like, scope of practice. You know, we have to stay in our scope of practice for things to be legal and copacetic and whatever. But that was always one of the first things I asked him, like, have you ever had an allergy and sensitivity test? Like, you know, what are you allergic to? What is your child allergic to? Because, like, we can't all eat the same things. Like, we're all so cellularly different that, like, for us to think that we could all eat the same things is, like, it's just crazy. And that's just, whatever. I think everyone should have allergy testing because it affects us. You know, for me, it comes out in my skin. For some people, it comes out in our skin. But for some of us, like, we're dealing with issues that we shouldn't even have to be dealing with because we're eating things that our body doesn't want. Anyways, I won't go off into, like, the nutrition thing. But morally, giving people these, like, alternative, like, quick fixes and chemical fixes and whatever was really going against, like, my beliefs in, like, nutrition and, like, living a healthy lifestyle. I just recommitted to being vegan at the time, and, like, some of the ladies in my office were, like, super rude about my own personal food choices. And yeah, so it just wasn't the right environment. So I was just, like, overall really, really unhappy. I got to the point where I was, like, crying on the way to work, you know. I know if any of you guys drive down Thomasville from frickin' Killearn, oh my gosh. I was having to drop Grisham off at the special needs school that he worked at in Killearn and then drive down Thomasville Road into Midtown. And if that isn't enough to make anybody cry, I do not know what is. So I was already in that situation. I actually had just found the wellness coaching opportunity probably in the same month as I got my job there. Weird universe. Like, can you let me find? Whatever. The universe works in mysterious ways, right? So part of my job, you know, as a coach was to do personal development. So I was doing a lot of personal development and I was listening to a lot of stuff on Audible. So I had all this extra time in the car. So I was listening to personal development. I was really being confronted with the fact that I was unhappy. And it was, like, spewing into all areas of my life. I was, like, a bitch to Grisham. I was a bitch to the dogs. I was just, like, super burnout. Super burnout. Yeah. Fuck Thomasville Road. So that's kind of it. You know, the reality set in, and there are four, you know, main things, I guess, 4 points that made me really leave my job as a therapist. And it was, you know, it wasn't financially stable. People in the office with me were still struggling financially, and, you know, some people have been working there for 5 years, and I was like, I'm not going to work somewhere for 5 years and then still not be able to pay my bills. Like, that's freaking stupid. That's not life. That's not what I want. That's not the life I want to live. So, and then, you know, I was just, like, surrounded by all these people that were, like, okay with the struggle, and, like, they were just in the bubble, in the struggle bubble. You know, and I had just been growing and developing a little bit more of a person to just see that there were other options and other ways of dealing with people and our emotions in our life, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I don't want to be surrounded by this. So I was having money struggles. I didn't want to deal with the money in the spa. The physical demand was too much. I wasn't going to get surgery on my hand before I turned 30 just to be able to work a job that didn't pay my bills. You know, it killed my self-confidence, my motivation. You know, that led to a lot of other things in my life too. For 21 days, I think I was sober at the spa, but, you know, I was, like, partying. Like, we were all partying together. We were going into work, and I was, like, nursing hangovers with my coworkers, and that was okay. And it killed my confidence, and it compromised my morals. So, you know, I just wanted to say, I guess I made this video because a lot of people have been commenting on this lately, and I have a lot of friends in the industry and stuff like that. This plane is going over, hold on. I don't want it to kill the main point of my video. Okay. So, you know, my point is here, if you have a job that is not making you enough money to pay your bills, that is like so physically demanding that you're in pain, if it's killing your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and if it's compromising your morals, like, there are other options out there. Like, get out. You don't have to stay here. I spent $13,000 on my education, and I always was like, oh, you know, when I make that money back, I'll quit my job. I made back $12,500, so I'm $500 in the hole from being a spa therapist, and I've probably made back that $500 since I've been doing services, you know, on my own that weren't taxed. So I made back the money that I spent. I don't feel bad. I really liked the experience, but it was also a big learning thing, and I guess that's a big lesson that I wanted to kind of give you guys from this is don't do what's not making you money, what's killing your body, what's killing your self-confidence, and compromising your morals. Thank you guys for listening to me like ramble and like talk about my story about spa life, and I've seen a bunch of you on here, so holy crap, it made me a little nervous. Thank you guys for hanging out. I would like to do live videos like this more often if I kind of knew what people wanted to talk about. There's some of you guys on here right now. What do you guys want to talk about? Anything? Okay. You can tell me later or through message. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I'm gonna hop off. Thanks, Morgan. Bye, guys.